What's up, everybody? We are the Reality Roommates, and we're back with another episode. Once again, per usual, we're not slowing down. I'm here with my other
Nah.
co-hosts. You guys can introduce yourselves.
What's good, reality roommates? It's your boy Willie.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy IV. I'm in the building. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go, man. Let's go.
let's do it. So, this is episode 14, and we're going to get right into the meat like we always do. We waste absolutely no time. Let's start with one Jag. Let's give a little brief recap. Jag gets saved by Matt because Matt has a special power in which America has given him, and he won the competition. So now he has a special power that could save someone for the next 2 weeks, including himself. And this caused a reset week. So we're going to this week with it being completely resetted. So that means that competition where they were standing up, the pressure cooker meant absolutely nothing, which is insane. But nonetheless, it is resetted the whole week, and now there has to be a new HOH. So to this episode was an HOH competition, so we'll be breaking down everything, the HOH competition, all that. But let's get into the start of the episode being that Jared tells Jag that he is safe. Jared, this whole episode is going to be a lot about Jared. But Jared tells Jag that he's safe, which caused suspicion of Jag, simply because earlier, Matt tells Jag that the only people that knows he has the power, because Matt ends up revealing to Jag that he has the power and that he will save him. So Jag went into the eviction knowing that he was going to get saved. So after that, when Jared comes up to him and tells him, yo, you are safe, Jag is looking like, wait, what? Matt just told me the only people who know are him and Sari. So Jag is looking a little confused. How do you guys feel about Jared essentially opening his mouth? You know, his mom had a conversation with him. His mom was pretty angry with him that he did that. And what spot do you think this Jared's in now that he's exposed himself like this? How do you guys feel like it affects his game? Willie, we'll start with you.
He's not in a good position after that because Jag realized that Sari's the only person that could have told him. So now he's kind of like, oh, okay. So Jared and Sari, they have a thing going on, since they're like telling each other like things about Matt's power and stuff. To be honest, I don't know why. I don't know what Jared was thinking. I mean, I kind of get it to like build trust with Jag, but it just didn't go right for him, man. Because Matt already told him, so it's like, yo, Matt told me that only him and Matt know, or him and Jag know. So how the hell do you know? So it's kind of just like, man, it just ruins everything. That I don't know, man. I could kind of get it, like building the trust with Jag, but like, man, I don't know, man. It was just bad, just bad thought. It was thought out bad, man. It was just thought out bad. Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
It's Jared. I don't even know where to begin. Jared is truly proving to be his mother's Achilles heel in this game. He is her biggest obstacle to the victory. I know a lot of people are saying online like, oh, this is unfair that, he gets to play with his mom or she gets to play with her son, etc. But he is truly an obstacle to her getting to the end. Where moves like, I mean, the fact that your mom is sharing with you information on moves that she's making, you are going to run and tell Jag that he's staying. That's wild. Like, that's super wild. You don't know what Jag would do with that information. Let's say Sari didn't tell him yet. You don't know what he's going to do with that information. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I think partially what it is he may be hell-bent on trying to make his own mark in the game. He kind of alluded to that in the DR. He kind of, I see what he's trying to do as far as he wants to have his own reasoning for why they should vote for him in the end if he winds up in those final 2 seats. But this type of sloppy gameplay could blow you up before you can even get there, because now Jag is like, yo, I don't trust Sari, as we heard in the diary room. Yeah. So you just up your mother's positioning, trying to get greedy with the moves. I think those types of plays are going to blow them up eventually. So I think we're witnessing small cracks that could end up being a bigger deal later.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that was the perfect way to describe it. That was just sloppy. It was a sloppy move right there. It wasn't thought out. He was just kind of like, oh, let me just build that trust with Jag.
Yeah,
And
we seen after when Suri pulls him to the side and tells him, "Yo, what are you doing? You're doing," because I believe Jag goes to Suri and is like
Mm-hmm.
confused, and so Suri says, "I didn't tell Jared nothing," and that causes her to talk to Jared about it, and you saw Jared when she says, "Oh, Matt already told Jag." Who knows. You see Jared go, "Oh, I didn't know, da da da." He knows he messed up. I think Jared is definitely, since he's not doing much, he is trying to make his mark on the game because he's realizing, yo, it's getting smaller and smaller in there. You have to have your mark on the game. You have to have some, like, you're not going to have a great speech like Taylor who just kind of just winged it hard and it worked, So
It worked.
I don't think we'll be seeing that again. So Jared definitely has to have a big resume. But we'll move on to.
Before we do, I just want to point out where he further dug his hole, in my opinion, is when he went back to Jag.
Yes.
Oh
yes,
yeah. He really should have just left it alone after that.
Say anything? It's like, bro, what are you doing? You've already been burnt.
Yeah.
Why are you back? And what do you think that's going to fix it or make you look any less sketch? It doesn't.
Yeah.
He should have alone at that point. But he went and berated Jag. That's not going to help anybody.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. No, I think he was definitely a little crazy for that. I mean, going back, spinning the block, and trying to make it right, but end up making it worse. I just think he was thinking purely off emotion and like acting on it too quickly. Obviously, I don't know exactly the time periods in which he did these things, but I would be guessing it's back to back. Just the way he kind of reacted and went immediately to him. It seemed like it was back to back, but then again, I wasn't watching live sheets, so you never know.
It did seem like it was back to back because man, it seemed like he had no thought into it. So it had to be back to back. Like there's no way there was time in between and he had time to think about it and then he acted. No, it had to be like back to back.
Yeah.
Because he acted very emotional.
Jag would have to be a complete idiot to not read between the lines that these two got something going on. Because it looked like it just back to back. Suri leaves the room, then Jared runs over like, "Why did you say anything?"
Yeah.
Like, gotta have some more slickness, some more couth.
But it does seem like Jared's not out of it yet. Not out of it just yet. Simply because HOH competition happens. Let's get into HOH competition first before we get into the winner. How do you guys like the HOH competition itself? I always enjoy those type of games, when two people come up on the podium and they kind of battle it out real quick. I like those.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really like it too much. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of out of it during that competition. I mean, I guess it's cool to have a memory comp. They always have their memory comps, but this is one of the weaker ones to me. It was kind of like, okay, cool, in my opinion. I don't know. I just didn't really like the way it was. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like the whole love theme and all that. It was kind of unnecessary to me.
Well, I absolutely love these types of comps when BB throws them. Not necessarily the theme, but what I love is the knockout situation where the winner of a round has to pick the other two competitors. And why I love that is it usually leaves, unless people are playing very well or very slick, it usually leaves telltale signs of who is working together.
Yeah.
So it kind of inadvertently starts to expose alliances and partnerships to the people who are paying attention. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like during that comp, I think you saw Red say like these selections are interesting, or maybe it was Bowie James or Red, or one of them was talking to each other saying, wow, these selections are interesting. I thought it was completely fascinating and proof that Suri is dominating this game because nobody picked her to play till damn near the very end.
Yeah.
Said, hey, everybody thinks they're good with Suri, so they're not going to pick her.
Yeah.
That actually should be a flag if someone in there, which I guess that person would be maybe America, maybe Corey, but they've got to peep like nobody was picking Sari to go up to that podium. That says something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So I love those for that reason.
Yeah, I completely agree. It exposes a lot. That's honestly why I like it as well. I just like the competition in as a whole, but I do think it does expose alliances. So I completely agree with you there.
Huh?
But let's
I
talk
got an
about
odd opinion. All right.
let's talk about who won the competition. That being Jared. Now the last two people was Izzy and Jared in the competition. And how do you guys feel about Jared winning, and if Izzy were to win, like kind of that duality of like them kind of being on the same side, but at the same time in the public being separated? If it were to go Izzy's way, how would you guys feel about it? Ivan, we'll start with you.
As you guys know, I mean, from day one, I said I wanted an Izzy HOH because she's a chaotic person in the show. So I would love to see her with all the power, and she would probably go Heisem style. Like she would probably start, going crazy with all that power.
Yeah.
Love to see her win. For that reason, honestly, though, I think her and Jared probably would have reached the same conclusion in the which with who they nominated. So I don't think that would have made much of a difference. But I was definitely rooting for her to take the W. I also thought it was very interesting that Jared actually didn't have to guess the right answer to win the HOH. He just there. The same thing happened to, I believe, Tiffany during her season. I think that's how she got her. She just wound up winning. She didn't have to hit the button.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that part was interesting. But yeah, Izzy said in the DR that she wanted to go after Cameron. So yeah, I think we would have ended up with the same conclusion, but just a different person driving the ship, which probably would have been even more entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'd like to quickly say real quick before you go, Willie, my bad. Jared, I know you said he didn't have to really do anything, but the round before that he did take out his mom.
Oh yeah, true.
He did take out his mom. But yeah, what would you say, Willie?
I do agree on Izzy and Jared. They would have made the same move, Cameron and Red. So it's kind of like we're gonna see the same thing either way. But it would have been more entertaining. I do get that entertaining if Izzy won. In my opinion, since I'm rooting for Jared, I think he should have lost this one. Not gonna lie, he should have lost this one. I was hoping he was gonna lose this one, because honestly, it would have been better for his game if Izzy got the blood on her hands. Getting Cameron or putting Cameron and Red on the block, and then one of them staying, and then one of them potentially coming after her next week. You feel me? It could have been the blood on Izzy's side, but Jared wanted to build up his resume by winning the HOH. So I understand that.
Okay.
You got to have a resume.
Okay. Speaking blood on Izzy's hands, it seems like there's blood on not only Izzy, but Felicia and Sari. Now, we're going to get into two conversations with 4 individuals in which happened. So the first being Blue and Jag had a conversation, and America and Corey also had a conversation, right? But both conversations were separate, and both conversations were about Sari being at the head of the house, controlling everything, being a puppeteer, and really having an influence on the rest of the house guests. Now, with America and Corey, they discussed, America was mainly the one dogging in on Sari, Felicia, and what's her name, Izzy. While Corey was kind of trying to be at ease with her. But with Jag and Blue, they were talking about Sari. So we'll mainly put the focus onto Sari, because we know Izzy and Felicia just fall with her.
Yeah,
So we'll focus on Sari in both conversations. First, Ivan, you can start about whichever one you want to talk about, but just the fact that Sari is the main topic right now, and they're noticing.
Well, yeah. So we can start with the America Corey, the conversation on the hammock. America's kind of been saying things like this, that wasn't her first time, expressing that opinion that she wants to go after them and that these people are the ones that's really driving the game. She kind of sees things as they are. She is someone who is a super fan of Big Brother, so I think she kind of can tell the power structure and what's really going on uh, with regards to who's really in charge here.
Yeah.
So, being said, this is further why Corey is on the outs with that crew, and why Matt has basically fully replaced Corey within that. You know what I'm saying? Because look who you're associating with. And with Corey, I'm not sure what his stance is. Like, I think he's trying to be. I think he thinks he has the room to try to attack that side in a slick manner. But honestly, I think he should be more like his girl America and realize, like, hey, you're gonna have to just kamikaze your way through this.
Yeah.
If you take any of them out at this point, because the game's pretty much getting to that point. I could see in the next 2-3 weeks, if nothing major happens as far as Cirie losing any soldiers, where she's gonna have this thing locked up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually interesting to see America get so charged up about it. Now, will America be able to do anything about it in actuality? I don't know, because we've seen this type of stuff in Big Brother before, years past, where you got that underdog character who's like, rah rah, we're gonna take out the other side that's dominating, and they just can't win it. So it's all about, can you win a comp that matters, that grants you power, not just vetoes. Vetoes are cool. That's just going to save you from getting off the block and give you another week. But can you win when it matters, which is that HOH, which will grant you that control of putting somebody up. Because I don't think America has the equity to be able to truly convince anyone other than Corey right now. I don't think she has that equity I think she thought that she would have had something with Cameron, but we saw Cameron was completely snowed and went after Jag and Blue. I think, thinking back after seeing this scene, it's clear that America gave Cameron that HOH because she thought Cameron was going to make that move against Cirie and company, and it didn't quite happen. Probably regrets giving up that win, but at the same time, with the whole week being vetoed with Matt's special power, I guess it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But I think that's where America's head was at during that time. Now, as far as Blue and Jag's conversation, it was a lot. Like I saw a lot more about it via like Twitter and whatnot, and on, like, as far as the live stream version of the convo. Yeah, for a day, it seemed like those two really kind of like got into their like ultra instinct and really was like figuring out how this game was working as well. Jag is definitely a player to watch. I want to see, especially after seeing his DR and saying he doesn't really trust Cirie that much. I want to see how he moves moving forward after voted, 10-0. Like, you got to make some serious changes, plays, and moves, and figure out who was really with you in order for you to get further. So I want to see what he do next, because that's going to be interesting.
Okay,
I agree on that. Seeing what Jag's going to do next, I'm pretty surprised that Blue Kim, like, she's aware enough to see that Cirie was like working the game, like working the house. Because Blue Kim, to me, like in the earlier episodes, it kind of seemed like she was kind of just out of the loop, kind of just like, I don't know. That's what the show was showing. It was kind of showing her out of the loop. So it was kind of cool to see that she's actually aware of Cirie being like a mastermind in the house and telling Jag. So I was actually pretty shocked on that. But I'm very curious to see what Jag's gonna do, what his mindset's gonna be like next week and the weeks after. I'm very, very curious to see on that. But when it goes to like what's his name, Corey and America, I'm surprised as well that America kind of like calling out, yo, Cirie, Izzy, Felicia, like they gotta go. Like I'm very, very surprised that she called that out, and I'm also mad that Corey kind of was like, oh, we should wait on that. I don't know why he kind of has that like, oh, we should wait on that. If I was Corey, I think it's sooner the better. Like you gotta get at least one of them out, because they're building something strong, and he knows that. But the fact that he wants to like, oh, we could wait a couple more weeks before we strike at them, it's kind of crazy. Like, nah, he knows that Cirie has that mastermind in her. So like, if I was him, that would be my first like, we got to get her out, man.
Okay, I agree with certain points. I do think Corey is playing a very smart game still. I think laying low is his best option, not getting in the middle to get potentially crossfired. I think him staying back and telling America, yo, stay back as well is a brilliant plan, simply because America, just the way she's talking right now, Sari can easily get her out of here. Easily get her out of here if she senses that she's a threat. So America laying low, Corey kind of keeping her in control, I think it's best. But now let's pivot to now Jared's HOH. Cameron is a little worried, goes up to the HOH room, has a conversation with Jared, and Jared sees that Cameron is willing to put up Red to be a pawn, or not, he doesn't want to be a pawn, but he's willing to have Red as the target.
Red beat it. Yeah.
And Jared feels like it rubs Jared off, it rubs Jared the wrong way, and Jared talks to Red, and Red feels betrayed. We even see him crying at the end of the episode about how Cameron betrays him, essentially. And we do find out that both of them do get put up on the block. But how do you guys feel about Jared and Cameron having that conversation and Cameron really trying to just save himself? If you ask me before you guys give your opinions, I think it's Big Brother. You know, you got to save yourself. Granted, the way he did it was kind of sleazy, and that's what kind of rubbed Jared off the wrong way. He could have done it definitely better, but at the end of the day, you got to save yourself. It's Big Brother.
Yeah.
It's Big Brother. What are we doing here? Yeah. We're not like playing with like children, you know. Get this guy out of here if that means I stay in, you know. But the way you say it and the way you execute with your moves and your words matters a lot in this game as well, because emotions are involved. But how do you guys feel about that, Willie? We'll begin with you.
I agree on that. Like, it is Big Brother. You got to save yourself. So I was kind of thinking that while I was watching. I was like, okay, that makes sense. I feel like Jared was kind of ODing when he was like, oh, it's rubbing me off the wrong way, his loyalty or whatever. I mean, he has to think for himself. Like, he has to think about himself and his longevity in the house. So you can't can't blame him for like kind of throwing Red under the bus a little bit, because like he kind of knew that him and Red were going to be on the block anyway. So like kind of try to save himself. So I understand that. But I'm pretty sure Jared already knew that Cameron was pretty much a rat when he ratted out the Jared's alliance. So I don't know what he expected. Some loyalty from Cameron, I don't know, from a rat. But when it goes to Red, man, I did kind of feel bad, because you know he was crying at the end of the episode. You know, his man, his basically his day one, just ratted him out. I did kind of feel bad on that end. But it is Big Brother. You got to save yourself now.
Be expected.
Yeah. What do you feel about Ivan?
So there's multiple angles to attack here. One, I think this was an excellent move by one of the few excellent moves that he's made this season. Jared, great move by him by basically essentially putting a lot of division between these two players that were super tight. I mean, last week we saw them both win HOH and veto. They were super tight. They're the chillers. I mean, you know, that's what they were calling themselves. They were super tight, and they were looking like a big threat to the house. So this is inadvertently a really good move by Jared to kind of sow that seed of division between the two. As far as him being shocked about Cameron throwing Red under the bus, I don't even believe he believes that, because as Willie just said, this is the same guy that snaked the first crew that he made with Riley and them. He immediately added them out. So this is what Cameron's about. This is his game style. You know what I'm saying? When things get tough, he tells on you.
yeah, basically.
I don't think Red knew that. Red didn't experience that yet, because, you know, Red was lucky enough to just always be on the right side with Cameron, because Red ended up first with the professor. So there was nothing for Cameron to rat on him about.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, this is what Cameron's really been doing since day one. And now as far as Red goes, it's like you said, Willis, this is Big Brother, bro. Like, this is what this game is about. It's partially about deception, and you need to come ready or you're going to not win this game. And
Facts.
Red isn't going to win this game. I think he is a dangerous opponent, as far as like the longer he stays in this game, the more likely he will eventually win an HOH and end up causing somebody else to go home. But I don't see him as being the ultimate winner. But I do think if they let him linger in this game, eventually he's going to send one of their butts home for sure, because he is a threat in that way. But yeah, I think because of how he reacted to the Cameron situation, that shows me you're not prepared to really win this game when it gets tough.
Yeah, that's a valid point. And also, I think I know Jared wasn't thinking about it like this, but like it's a good way to build a relationship with Red once, like, because everybody pretty much wants Cameron gone. So, in the likely chance that Cameron goes, it's a good way to build like a relationship with Red in case Red wins HOH next week or whatever. So I could kind of like, if that was his game plan, that was smart, because like now Red kind of has some loyalty to Jared now for like telling him about Cameron snaking him. So it could. I know he wasn't thinking about it like that though. That's the thing, but it was smart on that end.
Yeah. Now, we discussed Cameron, we discussed Red, we discussed them being nominated. Ivan, I believe you said you had something about Jared and America?
Yeah, so and don't worry guys, this is not a spoiler regarding HOH or veto or anything like that. But like, as us being a Big Brother channel, this is a talk of the BB streets on all the other channels, Twitter, etc. So we'd be amiss to not talk about it at all. So during this, basically before the veto comp, there was talk of America, like if she were to get picked, would she try to throw it or something like that? So Jared was having a heated discussion with Corey about this, how she better not throw it, etc. Because he doesn't want either Cam or Red to end up winning this veto, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So it's alleged, there is no clip of this, but it's alleged that Jared called her the R word, and because there's, I guess, a clip of him saying like, "Oh, my bad for calling her the R word," and I guess the Corey, to me, this is now I'm gonna bring my opinion into it, because a lot of the other BB channels are clamoring, as well as the fans are clamoring for production to now boot Jared over his use of the R word.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, hey, the R word's a great word, or I use that in my vocabulary every day, because I do not. But I don't think it's boot worthy. I think there's levels to this. There's a difference between the N word and the R word, okay? And there's a difference between a racial slur and a bad word towards like people with disabilities, which I still think it's not cute what he said. I don't think it's good by any means what he said. And if he said it, because there is no actual clip of him saying it. That's number one. So if he said it, not a good thing. But I am in favor of, okay, if he said it, let's broadcast it on the show so that the whole world can see, yo, he's a messed up dude for saying that. But I don't think it needs to go as far as booting him. We already had one boot this season. And like I said, I don't think it's egregious enough. I think it's bad enough where, hey, we're going to make you look bad on TV, and by proxy, hey, your employer at home might be like, I don't know if I want him employed, etc. You know what I'm saying? You'll look bad to millions of people around the world. But I don't know if we need to boot him from the game. And I think to me, I know a lot of people feel like Cirie is dominating this game. So to me, unfortunately, and people might get mad at this statement, but I think the Corey fans are so down bad that they want this man to get booted over this, just so that they can have a better chance at winning the game. And it's like, come on, dog. You know, like, there's got to be a limit to this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I want there to be a winner, but a winner like where it's a clean victory. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, there are twists in the house. Yeah, there's twists certain seasons of Big Brother. they got to do what they got to do to beat that twist, though, because not every twist wins. I mean, Paul is living proof of that. If every twist wins the game, Paul would be a Big Brother winner, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they can win, and they don't have to do it this way, which is Jared getting booted. You know, I see a bunch of people tweeting CBS and tweeting like for these news publications to pick up this story and all that, and I just feel like people don't realize inadvertently what you may cause is for Big Brother to not exist one day, or the live feeds to not exist one day, because you guys are trying to put so much pressure over any little thing that's occurring, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
That's my stance on that. I know you guys didn't know about it, so I'll get you guys feedback on this whole fiasco going on.
I mean, it's not okay that he said it. If he did, it's not okay. But yeah, I agree. He shouldn't get booted for that. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I just don't think he should get booted for it.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually seen this. Someone sent it to me, and honestly, at first I thought it was him saying the N-word himself. But then I realized they told me like, no, it's not him saying the N-word. It's him saying, which I'm kind of curious. If he were to say the N-word, do you think he would get booted?
There's no way. Like that would be so like no.
Him being black.
There's no way.
If they did, I guess they could be on some hard line like we accept it from no one. But Big Brother and CBS would look crazy to the outside world. Like
they would look insane.
Okay.
And then I wonder if the black community as a whole, I'm not saying that every person in the black community uses that word, but it would create a little pause as far as, you know, do I even need to get on this show? If you know, if you guys are moving, kind of like, I don't know.
Well, it's a little sticky with you know, people like to Luke. I don't know why I thought.
Yeah,
Luke. People obviously, you know, he said it. He got out the house. So I do feel like a lot of the fans are like, oh, we caught a black person doing it. Let's see if they hold him to the same standards, you know.
Right.
And to me, it's just like he said the R word, but like you said, the R word isn't, or to me, doesn't have as much weight as saying the N word as a white male. So,
it does hold a lot of weight though, because you got to think.
Yeah, that's not to say it doesn't hold weight, but the N word holds way more history, way more weight to it, especially said by a white male, compared to the R word, in which you said. So yes, I do think he should be issued a warning or maybe make it televised, like you said, but I don't think he should be penalized permanently getting out the game. It's just too much, and the stakes are super high. You know, you have this big twist. That's a great twist with the mother and son. Do you really want to jeopardize that or completely annihilate that just because of a word that doesn't really hold as much weight because of the pressure from the outside saying it does hold as much weight? You know, to me, it just doesn't make any sense, but we'll see within the next couple of days as to what's going to happen. And he is the HOH, so it's going to be a little difficult to do it this week. But we'll overall see what CBS does. I do think CBS will make a statement or do something within the show. But that's definitely something to be seen. And, yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I feel like CBS should just make a statement on it. Just establish that they don't condone that. But other than that, I don't think they should take any further action than that.
It's going to be interesting to see the next couple of days. But definitely let us know what you guys think, because we'll be commenting back to every single comment, as you guys know. So comment down below, let us know, and hit the subscribe button if you're new to this channel. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. We are the Reality Roommates, reporting every single Big Brother episode, so stay tuned for every single episode this season. And we are out. Peace.